This is Icarus Consulting, I think. Sentiment Analysis in Pharma from Sally Church, who's a PhD.
By way of introduction, I'm actually an academic biochemist who ended up on the dark side of the pharma industry, commercializing drugs, and in particular launching blockbuster cancer drugs. So my presentation is very different. It's not so much about systems, it's about how we as consultants help our pharma clients actually look at actionable insights and how we develop those.
It's interesting to do it.
One of the challenges as a marketing director is we get masses of data. The problem is that you get a lot of very broad data that's very shallow, may give you market share or not share of voice. You also get quantitative market research that gives you very deep analysis, but it's also very limited in the sense that A, it's narrow, and B, the problem with it is also very much dependent on human analysis, i.e. the moderator and the company assessing it. Quantitative analysis is very expensive. The challenge with it is for segmentations of different markets, it's typically dependent upon physician research rather than patient research. One of the challenges is that more and more companies are interested in how do patients really feel about their disease, how do they feel about their treatments and therapies. And the challenge with that is it's a lot of that in blogs and sentiments on social media. If you go and look at that, then typically what happens is a regulatory and legal people go, you can't have that. But now you have to report an adverse event if you see it. But that becomes a challenge. What we decided to do was to actually look at it in a completely different way. You can actually look at interviews that we perform with different patients individually, or you can collect similar sorts of information from patient forums on the website. So what we did is we started to work with one particular company called Leximancer. And what we were interested in is a way of analysing the texts and sentiments and feelings from either physicians or patients about treatments, but then organising it in a way that was automatic using computer sentiment analysis. And essentially, we talked what a lot of the people have talked about this morning in terms of developing the SARS and lexicon, is that this is the kind of things that we've been developing. So what we do is we gather the data from either the internet or from the interviews, we start to analyse it. We develop seeds and concepts and then source. The computer does it automatically. And what we're interested in is the aggregate. Because ultimately that gives us a wealth of data to develop information. On the right-hand side, sorry, the left-hand side, you can actually see the broader concept. This was done on 9 patients with lupus. Following on from that, you can actually start to say, well, what's positive and what's negative? And then you can see the sorts of things that here, in an unfavourable setting, what actually happens. If you were a company and you're interested in developing a drug, before you come to market, you want to know what kind of issues they're experiencing. Because what you're also interested in, does your drug have a competitive advantage? In other words, it doesn't have those side effects. Or better still, it actually does something with those side effects. Another way to look at it is you can build a concept map. Now, lupus is a rare disease, it's immunological, and there aren't that many therapies that are actually very good for it. And what you can see is that a lot of the sentiments here are actually negative. The patient's hurting, we talk about diagnosis, heart effects. If I was a pharma marketer, I'd be really interested, because at the top you see the toxin. It's not actually indicated for this disease. The other interesting thing you can do, like on an iPhone, you can actually pinch it and blow something up. So let's say you wanted to look at a more unfavourable theme, what kind of symptoms and side effects actually occur. So you can look at the stiffness, the kind of unfavourable effects you get here, and you can look at medication issues. So we started to use this kind of analysis. It's just a big picture view in 5 minutes. We're using it for market research to actually look at different ways of doing segmentation for different tumour types, for example. We're using it to find out unmet medical needs, what they really are from patients, not what the physicians think they are. They're often 2 different things. We're also using them for PR and advocacy and social media outreach. The important thing at the end of the day, what we really want to do is understand a much more deeper understanding of therapies, diseases, what people think about companies. That's actually quite important if you're looking at it from a PR perspective. But more importantly, we're also interested in what happens with patients and physicians. Now, this is just an example of some of the things that we've been doing, and I'm going to be around for much of today if anybody wants to ask any more questions.